get your idea on the concept for the business, and when did NXT start?
Well, as you know, I'm originally from the Netherlands, born and raised in the Netherlands, and I grew up in quite an entrepreneurial family, whereas especially my father was used to traveling around the globe for doing his business and doing his sales. So of course all these stories he brought back home to the dinner table, and my mother was in the same business and my grandfather was in the same business, all doing international trade. So it's something you grew up with as a kid. I was fortunate to graduate university, business university in Amsterdam, and upon graduation I basically immediately left the Netherlands because I wanted to pursue a career outside of the Netherlands, again internationally doing business. So I landed in Central and Eastern Europe. I lived in a short time in the Czech Republic, I lived a longer time in Hungary, was doing business in the region, and in those days I saw how difficult it was for European companies, so Western European companies, to enter these, in those days, difficult markets. Because you have to realize Central Eastern Europe was just close to 10 years after the drop of the Berlin Wall and the opening up of the open marketplaces. So eventually my career brought me to Turkey, where I lived up till 12 years. And in those days I was still working in corporate life, in the logistics sector. And again I saw how difficult it was for European brands, European companies, to enter the Turkish market, and entering in a sense of developing sales, developing sustainable sales, or taking up market share by either creating your own business volumes or taking over a company. So at some point in time I was lucky also in my career to execute the takeover processes of some companies in Turkey. And when doing that as a career, I also realized, which is by the way this month 10 years ago, that I could do that on my own. So I gave up my corporate career, stayed in Turkey, continued living in Istanbul, and in those days out of my apartment or bedroom, I started what today is the NXT group of companies. So in the first year we helped 3 Dutch companies enter the Turkish market. I did it on my own, but very soon we started recruiting the first team members, and we started to evolve the business then. So formally we can say NXT started its business model and concept in 2009, November of 2009, which is this month 10 years ago. But if you look back to the roots, because in 2010 we took over a company in the Netherlands, that company started its business model already in 2003. So we were lucky to take over a company in the Netherlands who was active in positioning Dutch companies in the Turkish market since 2003. So we have been doing this for over a decade, and yeah, under my leadership or vision for the last 10 years.